Okay, I'm standing outside this building in Benton, Illinois, and I'm pretty sure that Bill Terry's Jaguar engine shop is in there somewhere. And the last time I saw Bill was in 1992 at Sebring. And Bill is gonna be 80 this year. He was 50 then. I'm gonna be 50 this year, and I was 20 then. So I'm probably gonna look a lot different to him than he does to me. But I'm very anxious to see Bill again after 30 years. So here goes. Okay, I am inside Bill's race engine shop, and there's 2 or 3 guys in here building race engines, and here's some kind of V12 that's getting done. I have already gone around with Bill, and he has showed me the intricate details of a lot of these engines and heads and stuff, but there is just way too much top secret stuff in here to do any of that up close. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a look inside the shop. There's Bill right there. You hear the train going by, and you know, all over the walls and things are various trophies and posters and pictures of racing days gone by. A lot of pictures and posters up here. There's Bill's desk. They're in a really cool building here. There's the picture that I've got in my poster that was in the shop I worked at as a kid. That is in my shop too.
There it is. Yeah.
This is the '88 car that I worked on that I used to help Bill out at the races. There's another picture of it up there. Red. So there you go. Small spot, but a lot of big ideas on Jag Motors in here, and this is where it all happens. And there's Bill.
Rear seal.
Okay.
The crankshaft, as you see, has a lot more counterweights. And with this engine running an engine that's got a standard crank in it, they've only got 4 counterweights.
Okay.
You can pick the smoothest one out. I mean, it's easy to do. And these are billet, this one's billet, but we use billet and forged cranks. And we clipped all the inside of the block. And we've changed this over to competition Cleveite, big block Chevy.
Okay.
And a 2-inch Chevy rod bearing. It lightened it up some. We go to a single roller chain, and it's actually, the pins are bigger in it than the double roller. It's as strong. And the engineer in Germany told me, he said, well, that's what Mercedes and other manufacturers, they went to a single roller. And that's about it. We stake the freeze plugs down on the side of the block.
All right, let's take a look at that. Okay, yeah, so they're not going anywhere.
At Road Atlanta, Triumph was driving. And little head gasket, as for the multi-layer steel gaskets. Little freeze plug out, the car turned around backwards.
Oh, man.
At a real high rate of speed.
Well, I'm here in northern Alabama today, and I am picking up some E-Type parts, and they are coming out of an old barn. This is how you find them. And this is Marvin, my new friend. There's Marvin. And he is a Triumph guy, and these barns are filled with Triumph parts. It is just a TR3, 4, 250, and 6 gold mine. And he had some E-Type stuff, and so I bought the E-Type stuff that he had. It wasn't much, but the Triumph stuff just goes on and on and on. And there are, you know, Triumph parts cars, Triumph project cars, just hoods, and that's an aftermarket E-Type hardtop with a broken rear window that I decided I did not want. But up here, it's just filled with Triumph parts. Different car, but still a British sports car and very cool. And Marvin was telling me that the roof and sides of this building are built out of a recycled drive-in movie theater screen. And I'll show you a little more down here. We came in here and cleaned out all the E-Type stuff. And there wasn't much. I got some suspension stuff and some banged up bonnet stuff and a bunch of boxes and miscellaneous parts. But he called me a while ago and I was going right through here on my trip. I've been making lots of stops on this trip. And so here's a lot more Triumph project cars. I'll give you that one. That's an Austin Healey. So sorry, that one's an Austin Healey. And of course out front he's got his own shop where he works on things. But yeah, I'm out here in northern Alabama. They've got 200 acres and it is just absolutely beautiful. And it's a beautiful day and there's train tracks going by there. And you know, this is just the stuff that dreams are made of for Triumph guys. An MG there. And so I'll walk back over and show you all the stuff that we just loaded into the trailer. Here's a wrecked Series 1.5 bonnet and some Series 2 bonnet parts. And here's Marvin bringing over these. I'm not quite sure what they are. That's a 1.5 fender. And there's some inner balances. That's another bonnet I picked up somewhere else on my trip. There's some rear end pieces. Windshield. Just lots of good stuff that we will take home and make good use out of. So that is this morning's adventure. Okay, I'm out in the hills of Virginia this afternoon. This is my last stop. And over here we have got this little barn, and in the barn is an E-Type and a Lotus Europa and several cool British bikes. But this E-Type is the movie car from the movie How to Steal a Million.
Well, it was a prop car.
It was a prop car. Okay. So this was a prop car, and the car, and we've taken some other videos to show you, and you can see there's a little bit of body work here that you can see, but this car was sawed into 3 pieces, and one seam was about right here, and then the other seam was about right here. And so those 3 sections were on rollers, and they would roll those pieces together. And so what they could do was take the car apart right here, move this aside. Then they have the 2 people sitting in the car. And I think it was Peter O'Toole and Audrey Hepburn. And so then as they were sitting in the car with no windshield, they could come right up on them, see, and take a movie of them. Or they could clip this back on and take a movie of them back here. But then they could also unclip the back section, and then they could come up and get right on the back of their heads while they're having a conversation, and they still got the front of the car in there. But what Eric bought the car, the body shell, years ago, and a lot of the other stuff was gone, he put this all back together, and we're going to, in a minute, show you down under here where they put together a pretty intricate system to clip the pieces back together. But I don't know, it was never a real car to begin with.
It's more visible.
Yeah.
That spot.
All right, so let's go ahead and take the look at this over here.
Just be careful not to step on the mouse straps.
That's okay. I'll be stuck here forever, literally. See, here is where the car clipped together in the front. And they had these wedges, so it would just slide right into place. And you can see in the main rail, it's sleeved. And it goes together there. And then, of course, now it's a car, so it's been welded across that seam. Let's see, the seam was right.
Yeah, just tell them there was a big buckle that was a two-part buckle that they could buckle together to
Oh, yeah, that's gone now.
hold the front end.
Yeah, the buckle's gone, but see, the seam went right through these drain holes. So that was pretty cool. You don't see that every day, and so this was, you know, like I said, it started out as a prop car. Did they have another car just like it in the movie?
Well, like every movie, they have several cars in case they damage one. I don't think either of the stars drove, you know, the scenic views through Paris. It probably wasn't Peter O'Toole driving the car because they're worth, you know, stars are worth too much, right?
Yeah.
So typically they have a stunt driver or whatever. But, you know, there are scenic shots in the streets of Paris with a full car.
And so Eric drives it all around Virginia now. And there she is.